Is the most famous one the J-Lo picture on the beach? Is that the most famous
That's
one?
one of them. You know, I would have to say we got a lot of sales from that picture. We had our website blew up. I had to make hundreds of suits to fill the orders for that.
I'm turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry.
3, 2, 1. Boom. And Jessica, we're on. Jessica, is this the first podcast you ever do?
This is my first podcast.
This is going to be awesome. First question, Jessica, first question. What does it feel like to be American and look Hispanic in Miami?
Every single person since the time I was born speaks Spanish to me. And yeah, I just have to say I only speak a little bit of Spanish.
How was that for you? Because I don't think your mom wasn't born here, was she?
American.
American, but was she born in Miami or in LA?
In New Jersey.
In New Jersey.
But she came here when she was like 2 months. So
2 months. So you were pretty much raised in Miami.
Yes.
What schools did you go to here?
I went to West Lab Elementary and I went to Palmer Trinity High School and FIU also.
And FIU also. We don't get too many people on from Palmer Trinity. I've worked with a couple kids from Palmer Trinity. How was that school?
I loved it. My son's actually starting 6th grade now, next month there. I loved it. It was a great experience. I really, really liked it.
Do you still stay in touch with a lot of your friends?
I do. Yeah. I stay in touch with all my friends from Palmer Trinity. Yeah.
But
I also hung out with a lot of people from other schools. I didn't just hang out with my Palmer Trinity crew. My boyfriend went to Gables. I went to Carver for 7th grade. I forgot. So I met a lot of people in 7th grade and hung out with them a lot at Palmer Trinity.
And what is Carver? What is that? I've never heard of that.
Carver Middle School.
Is that public or private?
It's public.
Did they put you in timeout and put you at a public school for a little bit, and then they?
Yes. I started calling my mom, "Mommy, bro," and I was in trouble. And they're like, "Pick a school. We're gonna work there because we don't have the funds to send you to private school, but we're gonna make this work." And that's it. You're going. So I ended up at maternity.
Let's talk about that for a second. You have a good perspective of being in both worlds. What's the difference? Is private school, obviously, because of a certain category, the vibe is different than public? What are two distinctions you saw there that are different?
You know, now Carver is a great school, but when I went, it was not the group. You know, my best friend went to Carver as well, and she did phenomenal there. She was in the IB program. I was just an average student, and I just was getting into trouble. I didn't know which class I had next. I was kind of just already falling into the wrong group and just not wanting to be at school, and meeting a boyfriend, and my parents were like, "That's it, you're out. You have to. We're sending you somewhere else."
Nice.
So
your sister, you have a sister, older or younger?
Younger, 2 years younger.
2 years younger. Did she follow your journey also, or did she do something different?
She did. She went to Palmer Trinity, but she didn't have the experience I had. And she left her senior year and went to Gables, actually.
See how crazy it is? It works differently for everybody.
It's true. Yeah.
All right. When you were at FIU, did you study swimwear?
I did not study swimwear. I studied elementary education, which is hilarious because I could never be a teacher. I have 2 kids now, and trying to teach them through this pandemic when we had to do e-learning was crazy, and I could never do that. I actually I went to Palmer Trinity, and when I turned 16, I told my parents, everybody has a car. I want a car. My parents said, get a job. So that's where I started working at a swimwear store in Coconut Grove called Richie Swimwear. And I worked there for years. I started managing a couple of their stores at a really young age. I think that was like 1995, I started there. And then 20 years ago, that's when I opened Mermaids.
Okay, so when you were at that store, because this is what's important, did you ever envision yourself that you would open your own store, your own line, any of that stuff? Or were you just having fun and enjoying the Miami sun?
was having fun and enjoying the Miami sun. And then after a lot of hard work, when I hit around 20, I was, or no, a little older, 22, I was supposed to go on a European vacation with an ex-boyfriend. And we broke up and I took my money, it was a small amount, and I said, that's it. I want to have my own store. I learned a lot from this company, but I want to do my own thing and do it my own way. And I'm going to work it. And my mom found me this space here, and I took out a small business loan when I was 22. And since the day I opened, we were busy, and I've been busy pretty much ever since.
How crazy is that? So for people that don't know, tell them the name of the store, tell them the name of the line. There's few people that don't know, but one of the reasons that I love having you on this show is because I try to give everybody something. And there's a lot of sports moms that listen to the show. So a lot of them I know shop at your store. So if you can please share with the audience the name of the store, the location, and the line you have.
Okay, my store is called Mermaids Boutique. We are in South Miami off of Red Road. And then 10 years ago, my sister and I started our own swimwear line called Kailani Swimwear.
How awesome is that? Why the name Kailani?
My sister and I traveled. We went to a wedding in Hawaii and fell in love with Maui. And we said one day we're going to start our own line. I want to say I was pregnant then. So then we named my son Kai. And then after that, we kept looking up Hawaiian names, and we had this huge love for Hawaii, and we decided to call it Kailani Swimwear.
Nice. So your last name now is Sierralta. Is that Spanish at all?
Yes, my husband's Peruvian.
Oh, he's Peruvian. Nice.
Yeah.
So you got a Peruvian kid with the name Kai. That's tricking them already. That's very cool.
My daughter's Malia, another Hawaiian name.
Look at that. That is very cool. Very cool. Jessica, you traveled all over the world. Other than Hawaii, any other places that you really, really, really liked?
My husband and I went to Tahiti for our honeymoon, and that hands down was the most gorgeous place we've ever been. I loved that. But we've been all over Turks and Caicos. Every summer we travel to the Bahamas, which is our favorite spot. My husband and I love the Bahamas and kids. We've been all over. We travel a lot.
Have you ever been to Maldives?
No, but I'm dying to go there.
That's one of the spots, huh? What is it about traveling, do you think, that makes people so exciting? Like what do you get ideas there? Do you just see different things? What do you think about traveling? What do you think?
I feel like you when you travel, you get to see things through different perspective and different eyes, and I love traveling to Mexico, for instance. That gives me so much inspiration, and the colors and the vibe and just everything about it. When I get back, I always get so inspired to work on my new collection for Kailani, and that's what we usually do. My sister and I travel, get great inspiration, and make our bikinis.
Listen, I love that. We're going to get to the bikinis in a second. When you started your store, there was no social media back then.
No.
How was the word of mouth? How were you bringing the customers back in? Was it your product? Was it your awesome customer service? What tools did you have to get people back in?
I think it was a mix. So in 2000, when I started, bikinis used to be, you just grab any little Brazilian bikini that was a solid color. It was $30. You bought it in Coconut Grove or wherever, in Miami. And the year I started, bikinis started having a lot of detail and beading and a lot of work on them, and the prices started going up a little bit. And yes, I do believe that from working at a swimwear store at such a young age and managing, I was a manager at 17 years old. I had assistant managers that were 40 something, and I was in control of everything back then. That really taught me a lot for when I opened my own store, of what I would do in my own store and what I wouldn't do in my own store. I think the product was great. We had this really cool brand called Selena's from back in the day. Anybody that knows swimwear would know that brand. And I think also a lot of word of mouth is what kept me going from day one. My customers, I I have the best customers, the best. They've shopped with me. My first customer that ever shopped here still shops with me today. Like, I know her name, I know her family, I know her kids. I know I have an amazing relationship with most of my customers. And I think they just keep coming back. They love the customer service. They love that my mom works with me. Back in the day, my sister used to work here for about 10 years, and they love that. And I always try to have like the coolest, newest things in the store and different stuff from everybody else. If someone around the corner from me that has a store has something, I try to get something different. I don't want to have the same stuff as everybody else and all the other swimwear stores in town.
Dude, you mentioned there the secret weapon. I think your mom is the secret weapon to the store. When you're out traveling and enjoying the world, the fact that she's in there, I think that's key. What have you learned from your mom?
My grandmother used to have a store too. We have come from a family of entrepreneurs. So my grandmother had a really cute store here in South Miami years ago.
What was the name of the store?
It was called Ooh La La. It was a French kids store, and it was right where Beverly Hills Cafe used to be in South Miami, a little arcade area. And so she started with antiques and like French kids clothes. A lot of people used to go there. And then my mom, she had a store called Something Old, Something New that was new furniture and old furniture. So I think my mom, and my mom also did interior decorating. So she's always helped me and had an eye for fashion. She was a wardrobe stylist for over 30 years. So I think it kind of just runs in our blood too.
Nice. When you started with the line, Jessica, what was your inspiration? What did you see in your brain that you didn't see in the market that you're like, okay, I'm going to attack it this way?
Okay. I always wanted bottoms that did not dig on the sides. I felt like everything was so tight and elastic was such, everybody used this tight elastic on your hips, and I wanted to make a seamless bottom. So that's how Kailani kind of started. We started with this signature cinch bikini bottom with like a V in the front. It kind of gives you, you wear it a little higher on the hip, which people weren't doing 10 years ago. We started in 2010. And I think it just took off. People really loved that cinch bottom. And we still have a version of it in our collection today. 10 years later, we make a different bottom that has like a knot, but still is seamless and fits really well. And I think that's always been our thing. We've always made sure that our fit and our quality is perfection. Also, our brand is made in the US, which a lot of people outsource their lines to, China and all over the world. And for us, we felt that was really important to make our stuff here locally, which is also great because our turnaround time is really quick. And we've been working with the same factory since we started 10 years ago. It is more expensive, but we don't care. We will not, we've looked elsewhere actually, and we always come back to the US because the quality is impeccable.
See, I love that you said that. Jessica, I have no idea anything you said about those bottoms and those elastics. I have no clue, but I'm thinking, here's what my instinct tells me. Everything you mentioned about those bottoms, does that enhance a woman's curves?
Yes, definitely. To wear it high up on the hip is
so it's more sexy. So you, in essence, what you did was you were able to kind of predict that the market in women was going to go, because when we were young, it was every girl was getting the implants and the implants, but then you predicted that it's going to switch and we were going to go to the ass. So now you were ahead of that pretty much to enhance a woman's curves and stuff like that, because now in 2020, it changed. It's not about implants anymore. I'm sure they're welcomed, but it's the bottom.
Yeah, everybody
so
wants
smart of you. Did you look at it that way, or were you just like you and your sister put on bikinis?
I don't think we said let's just enhance the bottom. I think we just made things that we wanted for ourselves, and that's how we started. And we stick to that. We love, like, so many people these days are so into solids and neutrals, which we love as well, but we're really into prints. I think we're really known for our prints. For Kailani, we love bright colors, and we love color and print. So we always try to do something fun and new with that, and really stick to us and not do what everybody else is doing.
Jessica, let's talk about the moment where a celebrity wears your line. When a celebrity wears your line, what does that mean to you? What validation Where were you? Did you call your sister right away? Like, explain that to me. The first time you saw a celebrity, name the celebrity, where were they, everything. Give me the whole detail.
The first time, so I got a contact for Rihanna's stylist. I want to say maybe 3 years or 4 years into having our brand, maybe 3 years. So I emailed the stylist. He said to go ahead and send over the swimsuits. And I thought, what a long shot. Is Rihanna really going to wear our suits? And she actually did. She wore this bralette top, and she wore a bunch of our suits, but this was the first one. And our cinch bottom that I was talking about, the signature cinch bottom. And I woke up in the morning and I looked at my Instagram as usual, and I saw a picture of Rihanna in our suit, and I think I cried. I might have cried. I think I was jumping around, and my kids were like, Mom, cool it. What are you doing? You're so lame. Stop jumping around. Stop crying. And then I called my sister, and we were really excited. That was a big moment for us. We were really, really, really excited.
How long ago? How long ago was it? How long ago?
Probably, I want to say like 6 years ago or so. And she's worn suits after that as well. But we have, a lot of celebs have worn our suits over the years, which makes us really happy that they like them and they wear them. And
is the most famous one the J-Lo picture on the beach? Is that the most famous one?
One of them. I would have to say we got a lot of sales from that picture. We had our website blew up. I had to make hundreds of suits to fill the orders for that.
What type of which one did she buy? Which one was she wearing then?
She bought a ruffle bikini, which we actually just brought back this season.
Green, right? It was like a forest green or something?
Yeah, it was emerald green, and it's a ruffle bottom and a ruffle top. And she had it in a couple colors. She had the blue and white stripe, and she had it in the emeralds. And yeah, that picture blew up, and because that was her engagement weekend, she wore it, and we couldn't keep up on the website. It was crazy.
And then you've also had some love from the Kardashians also, right?
Yes, we have. We have had a lot.
For the kids, for the little kids, no?
For the kids and Courtney. We've sent Courtney Kardashian a bunch of our stuff in the past, and she's worn it a bunch, which is great. And I love that she always, I've made some custom stuff for her too when she's been on vacation in the summers and stuff like that.
I love that. If you were to wear, you have one, let's say you renew your vows on the beach, and there's one, out of all the bathing suits you have, there's one you wear. Which one are you wearing?
I have like hundreds, but I am pretty simple. I love a triangle and a tie-side bikini. I am like the most simple. Everybody else wants the scrunchie, which I do love the scrunchie. Our scrunchie signature bikini has been amazing, and we still have it in the line today. I'm going with the triangle and a tie-side. I'm simple.
Color, Jessica, give me a color.
Well, if I'm renewing my vows, it'd have to be white, no? But maybe like a ribbed white one would be really cute, or velvet. But I am usually a print girl. I wear a lot of prints. A lot of prints.
In your business, Jessica, I'm sure a lot of insecurities with women trying on bathing suits. Not all of them are up to date with it, with their fitness. Not all of them are into it. Some of them are having issues. What advice do you have? How do you kind of guide it? Because there's, I'm sure everybody looks at you when you're in the store. How does this look? And how does whatever? How can women, other than diet and get in shape and do the things, what advice do you have for women to look the best they can when they're not feeling the best?
Go with it. Enough with wearing the padding and trying to push yourself up. Be natural and be you and be proud of your body, no matter, any shape or size you are. Just be comfortable in your own skin. My husband actually says all the time that I'm like a therapist, because I talk to women all day long about their bodies. And I mean, people come in and show me this and what they've done with their bodies nonstop, and, talk to me about losing weight and gaining weight and all sorts of procedures and stuff. So I think just love yourself. That would be my advice to anybody that came in.
Yeah, but Jessica, you're in shape. So let's get some Jessica secrets. How do you stay in shape?
I actually do a dance class at Body and Soul. It's Nikki's jam session. I've been doing it for, I I did it 15 years ago for like 5 years. Then I took a break, did a lot of marathons, did some running, and now I'm back for the past like 2 years at dance. During the pandemic, I've only been able to do it virtually, but I love it. I love my dance class. It's amazing.
Jessica, let's talk diet because you're on vacation. Everybody wants to eat whatever they want on vacation. What kind of diet do you keep?
I eat everything in moderation. I have been the same weight for, I want to say 15 years. And I eat what I want in moderation. And some people, they start, oh, I messed up. I ate pizza for lunch. So I'm just going to eat whatever for dinner and get more junk. If I eat pizza for lunch, having a salad and fish for dinner, like I'm really balanced with my diet. I'm a Libra. I'm pretty balanced with every area of my life.
When's your birthday?
October 17th.
That's funny. My sister's the 20th, a Libra too. Let's talk Libra for a second. Hey, have you seen that? Do you have Netflix? Have you seen that Walter Mercado special?
I haven't, no.
You remember who Walter Mercado was?
No.
Walter Mercado, you're going to love this. He's the dude, the Spanish dude that used to, very flamboyant, looks like Liberace, would come out and say the horoscopes. He'd be like, Libra. And then, like super, super famous. You got to watch. It's in English, but you got to watch. You're going to love it. Great dude.
I'm really into signs, so I definitely have to watch it.
All right. So you know about signs then?
A little bit.
Okay. So I'm a Capricorn. Let's go. Tell me about Capricorn.
Crazy caps.
Is that what we are?
You know what? Guys and girls are different with their signs. My sister's a Capricorn, and she's just, I call her a crazy cat because she's like the wild one out of us too, and like just always out for a good time and having fun, and she's just one of those. Yeah, that's what I'd say about.
Tell me about Guy Capricorn. Guy Capricorn.
I don't know much about a guy Capricorn, only girl Capricorns.
Jessica, I'm going to give you an idea I think you're going to love. I think you should do a daily, it's going to be a minute, horoscope for the signs. You do it from the store. Hey, listen, I'm fascinated. This is Jessica here. Today I want to talk about Libras. So Libras today, but I'm telling you, that's
you know, when I first met you, the only reason I'm doing this podcast, it's not something I'd usually do. I'm really private, and it's not what I do. I always feel like I have what's in my mind. It's all going there, but what I want to say doesn't come out right. So doing a podcast for me, I was like, you know what? It's something I would never usually do. But when I first met you and you came into the store, and you really intrigued me. You had so many amazing ideas, and you were such a positive person. And I remember going home and telling my best friend, I have a best friend since second grade.
Nice.
And I met the coolest guy today. He came in with his wife to buy suits, and he just had so many amazing ideas, and he was such a positive person, and he was telling me how I should work on my stories. And I think I really started working on my stories after we met, my Instagram stories. But I'd have to say, I mean, not a lot of people do that. People come in the store and sometimes will give me ideas about stuff, and I'll go, oh, thanks so much for your input. But it really struck a chord when you came.
because you have, and I'll say this again, you have such a gold mine. Because look, I'll give you an example. And I mean gold mine, not in money. I mean in wealth of knowledge, and you have such a good story, and you're a good person. Because if you sucked as a person, I go, listen, Jessica, don't even put a camera on you because you're going to turn off everybody. But you're one of the few that's reverse. So like you said, like your husband says, you're a therapist because people come to you very vulnerable. Because it's swimsuit and it's in front of you. And swimsuit is universal. You wearing a swimsuit for your first time you ever go with your guy to the beach, that's a big deal. When you're really into a person, you wear a swimsuit when it's your daughter's 15th and it's in the pool. It's a universal thing. And there's so many stories that you have that why keep it to waste? And all those things that you said about yourself, every single thing that you've wanted to tell me today, you've said it perfectly, like if you've done 1 million podcasts. So there's no big deal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I want to talk about now. I want to pivot now. How is it for what does your husband do?
My husband works in the food industry.
Okay. How is it for the women out there that are entrepreneurs? How is it being married to a civilian? Because being an entrepreneur is a whole different world, but a civilian is more normal stuff, like regular work. How have you been able to keep a marriage successful? We'll get to the kids later. Being an entrepreneur and hustling, what balance have you been able to apply?
I feel like we're great communicators, and that's key. you can communicate with your husband or wife, I think that's first and foremost. You can make anything work. Yeah.
Jessica, why do you think we as a society are sucking now at communication?
Probably because of cell phone situation. Everybody has their head and their nose in the cell phone, and it's just looking at Instagram pictures and looking up things on YouTube. And
so how do you balance that? What do you even balance that? Or are you like, listen, Hector, I'm the same. How do you view that?
I think it's taken time. My husband was not on any social media till I made him an Instagram, I don't know, like a year ago or not even. And he's finally into it. So he's on his phone a lot. And I look over and say, oh, what are you watching? What are you reading? What are you looking at? And I'll say stuff like that. But it was hard to try to explain that my job is not, coming into work from 10 to 6 during the week. I work all the time. I'm on my phone constantly posting, constantly looking up stuff, constantly working on my, on Kailani's collection. And I work a lot. So I think it's fine now, but I do make time for my family, and I do make time to put the phone down and set it aside and be with my kids and be present, which is really important. So I've made it where I balanced it, I balanced it.
All right, let's talk about now being a mom and being a sports mom, which that's a whole crazy world on its own. So your son, I believe, plays basketball?
He does.
Basketball is interesting because the physical limitations of basketball puts you in reality really quick. Doesn't mean you can't play basketball if your husband's not 6'5" or whatever, but it really sets, it's very interesting, very different than, let's say, baseball, because baseball doesn't have those limitations. How do you view the basketball experience, your sports experience? Does your daughter play sports too?
No, she doesn't. She played soccer for like a minute, but no, she's more artsy and into just being girly.
That was going to be a supermodel. That was going to be a little different, I think.
Yeah, she loves to model our kids' bikinis, and she's all into that kind of girly stuff.
Being a sports mom, and I think to be the sports mom of a boy right now is probably one of the most important roles out there, because moms majority of them are overdoing it or overkilling it with the boys when it comes to their sports. How have you noticed that? Your time, I think he's been playing basketball, like for 3 years or something, is that it?
Since he was like, I want to say maybe 4 or 5, and he's 11.
He's 11, so for a while.
His dream is to be in the NBA, and he talks about it on the daily. And I'm not going to lie, Kai's on the shorter side. We're not the tallest people. We're not short, but we're not tall people. And he wants to be in the NBA, and that's his dream in life. And I try to explain to him that, you can have other dreams too. And even if you play in high school and play later, that's fine too. And what happens. So I just try to support him, and he can tell him he can do whatever he wants to do. And who knows what happens in life.
Jessica, how you deal with your son's failure?
He's really hard on himself. I play basketball with him all the time. Last night, 9:00 at night, Mom, throw me the ball. Let's do 10 over here, 10 from the left, 10. Let's practice. So in my pajamas, I'm throwing him the ball, and I work with him. He loves it. And I tell him not to be so hard on himself, to have confidence, and to really believe in himself. And I try to help him, but he's very, very competitive. He's a competitive kid.
Does he get that from you or from your husband?
I think both. We both played sports growing up, and I played soccer for years. I played soccer till I played on a league till I was like 26 years old. Not that I was ever great, but I just enjoyed it, and I played, and I loved soccer.
What position, Jessica?
Defense usually. I played.
I could tell. Yeah, you're aggressive on them there, kicking people. What number were you? What number?
17. That's my lucky number, my birth date. So.
Look at you, 17. The 17. Yeah. Jessica, favorite type of music?
Oh God, I have such a mix, but I love hip hop.
Favorite hip hop.
God, favorite hip hop ever?
One song. Who? God. Give me one song. Or one person.
Let's just go with like old school Snoop Dogg, like Love, anything old school hip hop I love.
All
But I
right.
like stuff too. I'm a real mix. I'm really one of those people that likes everything. Sometimes I can just put on like Frank Sinatra and cook dinner and like love that too. Like I
Yeah.
like.
I love it. I love it. I thought you were gonna go with like a Bob Marley because you're always.
Oh, I'm so into Bob Marley. I should have said that actually.
That's what I thought.
And reggae, yeah.
Yeah.
That's on.
Jessica, at what point did you say to yourself, "Okay, I'm gonna become a TikToker"? When did you decide to become a TikToker?
My daughter begs me day and night to be on TikTok, and I'm like, Malia, I cannot. I'm not. I'm 42. I look crazy doing these dances, and you know I'm better, but you practice them. Come on, mom. You're a great dancer. You do your dance class all the time. Do TikTok. So yeah, every now and then you can find me on TikTok.
What's your favorite? How many dances have you done? Like,
Maybe like 5. I don't know.
what's your favorite one? Which one did you feel the most?
I don't know the names of the songs because they have all these weird names. But the last one I did was, what was it? I don't know the names of the songs.
You don't know the name of the song? All right.
No.
All right. Last question, Jessica. Jessica, any questions for me, man? Anything I can help you with?
Questions for you. I would just say, I love what you're doing and keep inspiring people, and your positivity radiates, and I love listening to your podcast. I listen to them all the time now, and I love your motivational Mondays. Like, that just put me in the best mood yesterday listening to that.
Dude, you
like a soldier, yeah. Plus they tried to count me out thinking that it's over, but I got to fight. Rocky Balboa, yeah, I got to fight like Rocky Balboa.